Hey, Warriors fans, there's so much buzzing around the Bay Area right now, and honestly, it feels like we are on the edge of a huge shakeup. The Golden State Warriors have been quietly maneuvering behind the scenes, trying to piece together a roster that not only contends, but dominates in the Western Conference. The chatter around Anthony Davis has been heating up, and this is exactly the kind of situation that could reshape the team as we know it. For weeks now, insiders have hinted at the Warriors exploring every angle, making calls, checking interest, and trying to align pieces in a way that maximizes both immediate performance and long-term flexibility. It's a delicate dance, but one that could pay off in a massive way if everything falls into place. At the center of this story is the ongoing saga of Jonathan Kuminga. The young forward has been sitting out games recently, sparking all sorts of speculation, and it's easy to see why. Kuminga is an asset whose value is undeniable, even if the Warriors have struggled to find the perfect role for him in the rotation. He has averaged 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, and shown glimpses of the defensive versatility that makes him a coveted piece in the league. Yet, with injuries piling up and the Warriors needing every win they can muster, Kuminga's absence is a thorn in the side of fans and analysts alike. The understanding seems clear. Kuminga and the Warriors' front office have a tacit agreement that a trade is imminent, and sitting out is a strategic choice to protect his value and avoid any setbacks. It's frustrating from a team perspective, but from the player's standpoint, it's a move that makes sense. Reports suggest that multiple teams are keeping a close eye on Kuminga, knowing that his combination of youth, athleticism, and skill could fit into several different systems. The Warriors have been active in testing the market, gauging which teams are willing to make meaningful offers. This isn't just about finding a new home for a player. It's about navigating the trade deadline strategically. Sources indicate that by mid-January, there's a high likelihood that Kuminga will be moved, potentially before the homestand concludes, meaning the window for these negotiations is narrowing rapidly. For Golden State, this is a test of timing and leverage. They want to maximize return without compromising their own roster stability, all while keeping an eye on the bigger picture of contending in an ultra-competitive Western Conference. And then we have Anthony Davis. The conversation around AD has been electric, and for good reason. His skill set is exactly what the Warriors could use to solidify their front court and provide relief for their perimeter stars. Davis brings scoring, rebounding, and defensive presence at an elite level. The challenge, of course, is assembling a trade package that works financially and strategically without dismantling the core that already exists in Golden State. Draymond Green is untouchable in the eyes of most, and rightly so, and the Warriors are unlikely to move Jimmy Butler if they can avoid it. That means any move for Davis requires precise maneuvering, clever negotiation, and possibly multiple teams' involvement. The reports indicate that the door isn't completely closed, and while a trade might be complex, the opportunity to pair Davis with Curry and Butler represents a potential championship-caliber combination. It's the kind of strategic chess the Warriors have excelled at in the past, but the stakes are higher now, with the Western Conference more competitive than ever. The numbers tell part of the story. Davis is averaging 21 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists per game this season, with elite efficiency around the basket and a top-tier defensive impact, including blocks and rim protection. Even with the bumps of injuries and games missed, his ability to influence both ends of the floor is undeniable. Imagine adding that level of interior dominance to a lineup that already features Curry's shooting and Butler's versatility. It could change the dynamic entirely, taking pressure off the perimeter players and allowing more flexibility in rotations. The potential fit extends beyond statistics. It's about balance, spacing, and defensive versatility. Golden State's front court would be suddenly imposing, capable of controlling paint presence while still maintaining pace and agility on the perimeter. Meanwhile, the Warriors are not just waiting on Davis or Kuminga. They are actively positioning themselves in the market, watching how other teams handle injuries, slumps, and opportunities. Every move made by teams like the Phoenix Suns, Minnesota Timberwolves, or Los Angeles Lakers has ripple effects on the Warriors' strategy. The window to strike is narrow, and with the trade deadline approaching, Every conversation, every offer, and every roster calculation becomes critical. For the fans, it's thrilling and nerve-wracking. Every report, every rumor, and every speculation carries weight because this isn't just about a single trade. It's about shaping the team for the next championship push. The tension is palpable when you consider the strategic layers at play. The Warriors are trying to add talent without subtracting too much from their current structure, managing salaries, contract lengths, and player chemistry simultaneously. Anthony Davis's preferences matter just as much as the team's needs. He wants a long-term situation where he can continue to grow and contribute at the highest level. That adds another layer to negotiations because it's not simply about moving pieces. It's about convincing a star that Golden State is the right destination and that the fit makes sense for all parties. This is high-stakes negotiation in action, and for the front office, it requires foresight, patience, and precision. Even beyond Davis and Kuminga, the ripple effect of potential trades extends to the supporting cast. Players like Spencer, key rotation guards, and the bench units all factor into calculations. How do you maintain depth, preserve energy, and balance minutes while integrating a high-impact acquisition like Davis? That is the challenge Golden State faces, and the way they navigate it will speak volumes about their championship aspirations. The stakes are tangible. Every win matters, every possession matters, and every move could be the difference between a first-round exit and a deep playoff run. The complexity is enormous, but so is the potential payoff. The narrative around the Warriors this season has evolved into one of strategic opportunity, player management, and market maneuvering. It's not just about talent on the court, but about timing, positioning, and vision. With Kuminga poised for a trade and Davis in play, Golden State finds itself at a crossroads where decisions in the next few weeks could define the trajectory of the team for the remainder of the season and beyond. Fans are watching closely, and the excitement is palpable because the combination of skill, youth, and veteran leadership could result in something truly spectacular. The Western Conference is tight, but Golden State's ability to navigate these trades, integrate talent, and maintain competitiveness could very well determine their championship ceiling. And then there's the human element. Players like Kuminga and Davis aren't just assets. They're individuals with careers, ambitions, and stakes. Balancing the business side of trades with the personal dynamics of player satisfaction adds an extra layer of intensity. Every decision carries potential consequences for morale, team chemistry, and performance. How the Warriors manage these factors will be just as important as the numbers on paper. It's a blend of strategy, psychology, and basketball IQ that makes this situation so compelling. As we continue to dive deeper into the Golden State Warriors strategy, it's clear that timing is everything. The trade deadline is looming, and the Warriors are playing a careful game of positioning, trying to align both short-term wins with long-term roster flexibility. With Jonathan Kuminga sitting out and Anthony Davis on the radar, every conversation, every potential offer, and every scenario must be carefully evaluated. The front office has been in overdrive, weighing options, projecting outcomes, and trying to find the perfect combination that keeps the team competitive without sacrificing their core identity. It's a balancing act that requires precision, because in a league as tight as the Western Conference, a single misstep can have huge consequences. The dynamics surrounding Kuminga highlight just how intricate this situation has become. While some fans may feel frustrated seeing such a talented young player on the sidelines, the reality is that Golden State is leveraging every angle to maximize value. Teams across the NBA are aware of Kuminga's potential and his current situation, and that gives the Warriors a strategic advantage. By sitting out, Kuminga protects his health and market value, while the front office tests the waters, gauging which teams are willing to make a competitive offer. From a purely basketball standpoint, it's not ideal to lose a contributor in the rotation, especially with so many injuries affecting the team. Yet from a long-term planning perspective, it's a move that makes sense, and it could yield a significant return if executed correctly. Meanwhile, Anthony Davis represents a different kind of chess piece. He is a high-impact veteran, and adding him to a roster already anchored by Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler would create a formidable core capable of competing at the highest level. but the challenge is enormous. Any trade would require careful financial maneuvering and potentially involve multiple teams. The Warriors have made it clear that moving Draymond Green is not on the table, which limits options, and they are reluctant to give up Butler. That means the path to acquiring Davis must be creative and meticulous. It's a scenario that involves projections, modeling, and a clear understanding of how each player fits both statistically and strategically. The Warriors need to find a way to add elite talent without destabilizing their current structure, and that's exactly what makes these next few weeks so critical. The potential impact of adding Davis extends beyond raw numbers. He would change the spacing, defense, and versatility of the team. Offensively, he can alleviate the burden on Curry and Butler, taking over scoring opportunities in the paint and mid-range, and providing a reliable third scoring option. Defensively, his rim protection and rebounding would allow Golden State to switch and rotate more effectively, giving them the flexibility to guard a variety of lineups. In a Western Conference where matchups are everything, adding a player of Davis's caliber could tilt the balance significantly. It's not just about adding talent. It's about creating a unit that can respond to the challenges of a grueling playoff race. Another layer to consider is the strategic positioning of the Warriors' other roster players. Guys like Spencer, the rotation guards, and bench contributors all play a role in how any trade would be executed. If Davis comes in, the coaching staff must recalibrate rotations, balance minutes, and ensure that chemistry isn't disrupted. It's a puzzle with multiple moving parts, and the front office must anticipate not only the immediate effects, but also the long-term implications. Every decision impacts morale, matchups, and future trade flexibility. In a league where small margins often determine playoff outcomes, the ability to execute these maneuvers flawlessly is critical. The situation is further complicated by the competitive landscape. Teams like the Suns, Timberwolves, and Nuggets are all battling for positioning, making each win and each trade increasingly significant. Golden State can't simply focus on the short-term acquisition. They must consider how these moves interact with the entire conference. The trade for Davis, if it happens, could shift the dynamics across multiple teams, forcing other organizations to respond. That adds pressure to get it right the first time, because mistakes could cascade and affect multiple matchups down the stretch. Every scenario has consequences, and the Warriors are acutely aware that in a tight Western Conference, every detail matters. Meanwhile, the human element continues to shape the narrative. Players are not simply chess pieces. They have careers, motivations, and expectations. Kuminga sitting out is a decision grounded in preserving value and health, while Davis's preferences for a team willing to offer a long-term commitment add another layer of negotiation. The Warriors must balance the business side of roster management with respect for individual player goals. Successfully navigating this balance is what separates good front offices from great ones, and Golden State has shown in the past that they can operate at a high level in these complex situations. Yet the pressure has never been higher. Statistical analysis supports the Warriors' interest in Davis. His scoring efficiency, rebounding rate, and defensive metrics are among the best in the league, even when accounting for games missed due to injury. His advanced stats, including player impact estimate and true shooting percentage, indicate that he can make a significant contribution to both ends of the floor. Integrating Davis with Curry and Butler would create a multi-dimensional threat capable of both explosive offense and lockdown defense. The combination could redefine Golden State's strategic approach, allowing them to exploit mismatches while maintaining a balanced rotation that maximizes each player's strengths. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. Shockwaves are hitting the NBA as rumors swirl about what could be the most sensational move in recent basketball history. Sources close to the league suggest that the Golden State Warriors have finalized a blockbuster trade, and if the whispers are true, it could redefine the entire landscape of the season. The chatter centers on none other than LeBron James potentially joining the Warriors roster, a development that would send tremors through both fans and rival teams alike. Golden State has been methodically building a team known for its explosive offense and deadly three-point shooting. Adding a player of LeBron's caliber could elevate them from contenders to virtually unstoppable forces on the court. Speculation is rampant that the Warriors see this as the perfect marriage of LeBron's unmatched versatility and the team's high-octane pace. Analysts are already debating how he would mesh with the established stars, noting that his leadership and playmaking could push the team into entirely new dimensions. Fans are divided in their reactions. Warriors loyalists are ecstatic, imagining the combination of Golden State's sharp shooting and LeBron's dominant presence. Meanwhile, critics argue that blending such big personalities could present challenges in chemistry and rotations, raising questions about how Coach Steve Kerr will manage the new dynamic. Social media is ablaze with memes, theories, and hot takes, with some predicting a historic finals run, while others warn that expectations might become a pressure cooker. League insiders are hinting that this deal was in motion for months, quietly negotiated behind closed doors, with both parties aware of the enormous media storm it would create. If confirmed, it could trigger a ripple effect, prompting other teams to make desperate moves to counter the newfound superpower that the Warriors could become. From analysts to casual fans, everyone is wondering, is this the dawn of a new dynasty or a gamble that could backfire spectacularly? While nothing is set in stone until official confirmation, the mere possibility of LeBron James donning a Warriors jersey has already ignited the imaginations of millions. The NBA world is watching closely, holding its breath for the next chapter in what could be one of the most unforgettable seasons in league history. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.